Hello, Roadrunner fans. We are here to reveal the Roadrunner women's soccer all-decade team. We've got a great crew with us here today to talk about the team. We couldn't have a better lineup, starting with head coach Megan Rutler.
Hi, thanks for chiming in.
And also with us, longtime assistant. That's part of the story we'll tell today, Julie Cheney.
Thanks for having me, guys.
It's going to be great to hear from you, Coach. Also with us, Maria Grady, who's new to the program and did a great job with us as an assistant.
Hey guys, hopefully everyone's putting their work away for a good half hour to chime in on us.
Also with us, we wanted to have an alumni, one of the greats, now a coach at Deptford High School and teacher. We got Liz Faulkner with us.
Hey, how we doing, guys?
Great to have you on, Liz. And last but certainly not least, to help us with some of the questions, sports information specialist Gus Ostrom.
Glad to be here, and I'm honored to be with such a talented group of former players and coaches.
Great to have you with us, Gus, on all these shows. Hey, Coach Rutler, first question is for you. We want to dive right into this, but we know, hey, look, you've been a head coach. You've taken teams to the national championship tournament. You're a parent. You've got a high-profile position as your full-time job on campus. But this must have been one of the toughest things you've ever done, putting this team together.
It's actually the truth. It's very difficult. There's been a lot of great players to come through. Personally, I took a look through my phone. I think I have everybody saved from each year and worked with Coach Cheney to nail down two very, very talented teams.
Hey, well, we think you did a great job. The debate will rage because we've had so many great players come through the program. Everybody ready? We're going to start right away with our second team, all decade. We're going to share these graphics with you so you can take a look and then walk us through there, Coach, as we go through, and we'll hear from some of the players. Let's start on the defensive end. We've got your second team goalkeeper, Lauren Hayes. We know she was really important to you and went on to play at your alma mater.
That's right. Lauren was very talented. She came from Williamstown High School where she sat behind another very talented goalkeeper. She probably would have been a starter really on any other high school team. So we were lucky to have her play at then, I believe, GCC. She only played for us 1 year though because of her major. She wanted to pursue something, I believe, in tourism, hospitality management, and our business track really didn't lend to that. So she transferred to Stockton and ended up playing there for 3 years and had a successful career there as well. So she was kind of an obvious choice for us. Very good at making saves and actually was, pretty good with her feet as well. She also understood the game, so I think she was able to organize her defensive shape in front of her quite well as well.
Hey, great start there, and she was an awesome player to watch. Coach Cheney, we're going to move to the backs here. We've got Kayleen Banks, Christina Gray, Maria Mancini, and Alex Affler back. Who stands out to you from that group? They were all stars in their own right.
Oh, they definitely were. This was a really hard decision to make when we were going back and forth between first team, second team with our backs. I think honestly they can all be interchangeable with both. We say all the time, if we could gather all these girls and throw them into a 4-year program, it would be pretty, fun to watch them play in the NJAC and things like that. They're just awesome kids. So, I mean, not even kids anymore. They're all women at this point. But I don't know. It's a tough call. They could be interchangeable between the first and the second team.
Hey, no doubt, great group. Maria Mancini, part of a family that played for us, right, Coach?
That's right.
Yeah.
We had Carla Mancini and I believe brother Mancini, I'm losing his name, Mario maybe, is playing for the men.
Santino. Glassboro grad.
Right, so we always like to have those families come through. Great stuff. If we take a look at the midfield there, this is a really talented group. Liz Shendock, Laura Rathoff, a Gateway Gator, MK, Mary Kay Cogley, that is going to be featured on our website this week for what she's doing with officiating. And then Julia Sendejas, one of our most talented players. And to see her on the second team, good stuff. That obviously means we had some great midfielders, Coach.
Yeah, that's correct. Julia was definitely solid. She was technically sound and produced a lot in the attack. Laura just had a nose for goal, like a bull, just would run through anybody. Liz is quite a personality, to say the least. I think not only was she talented, but just brought such a positive vibe to the team that I don't know was really replicated since. And MK, that's, she was a sophomore our first year, Coach Julie and I, one of three, I believe, and has been such a contributor as an alumni as well, coming back for alumni games, and obviously she is a rep in NJCAA as well. So it's good to see her stay with the game.
Hey, Julie, talk about Mary Kate for just a second, being part of that first group. She's one of the only players that played for the coaching staff before Dan Roberts, and then you guys came in and really changed the culture, and she bought right in right away.
Yeah, I mean, MK definitely wanted to just put the program back on the map. That she had, talked to us all the time about, and brought that to the style of play she played. She played her heart out each and every day for us. Great person. I know she's a teacher at this point, officiating, so that her passion towards the sport definitely carried on the way she played. She's great to have. She could have had her for 2 years.
A last group, but certainly not least, our forwards up front. Devin Hoagland, one of our all-time favorite players to watch, and just another great person, great story. Victoria Flynn, two super people, just really fun to be around. Exemplified sort of the Roadrunner women's soccer program, I think. Coach Reller, you want to talk about that group?
Sure. I think the first thing that jumps out, they're both, they were pretty good in the attack. While we list them as forwards, I think both of them probably played several positions for us. They're pretty versatile. But their nose for goal, we're definitely there. Perhaps one season over the other. But yeah, they were both very, very, very good. Both also coached with us after their stint as players. So that's something to note as well.
Hey, great point. Liz, let's bring you in with the player's perspective. You remember a number of these players. Who were some of your favorites to play with from that group, and who stands out to you from that second team all decade?
I definitely remember playing with Laura and probably Dev the most. And I think when Coach Rutler said about Laura that she's just someone who would run through anybody. Like, it's like she was small. Like, I don't remember how tall, but she was just a smaller player. And I think people were like, oh, this girl's not getting by me. No, she would run through people that were like 5'9", 5'10", and she would not care. And she might go down with them, but she's going to be the first one up. And you know what? She'll go and help them up after, but only if she's called for it. She'll definitely score first. But she was just very fun to play with. And then also Deb, and I played with her in high school as well. Like, she wasn't that major goal scorer in high school, but when she came up, I don't know what Coach Meg and Coach Julie do, but they just lit something. And she really, I don't remember one season she had, I don't remember how many goals it was, but it was awesome. So it was fun to play with both of those two.
Hey, great insight there. And that's an awesome second team. Part of the story of the decade in Roadrunner women's soccer is Coach Rutler, you being hired at a really young age, and then meeting up with Coach Cheney and the combination of personalities and what you've been able to do. Give us the background there. That started in the beginning of the decade. How did you two match up? You've become great friends, confidants, and then you've added Maria to the staff, which is great. You've had some alumni, but really, you and Julie have been with us the whole time.
Yeah, I actually think Coach Julie has the start of that story, but I believe she was contacted and wanted to be a part of the program. I don't want to speak for her, so please chime in, but wanted to be a part of the program, but perhaps not head coach. So I was lucky enough to have the opportunity to sit with the AD at the time, Mr. Case. And I guess he liked what he heard. I was definitely passionate about, wanting to find a home for myself. I had just left Stockton, and of course I love that, but I did want to at some point be a head coach, of my own. So I was grateful for the opportunity. And I remember being asked by Mr. Case if I had anybody in mind for an assistant or any kind of coaching staff, and I had not, being so young. So I was lucky enough that, Mr. Case had connected me with Julie, because she's been, really such a positive influence, not just for the program, but really a lot of lives. I mean, mine personally, professionally, but also, all of the players to come through.
Brian, if you don't mind me chiming in on that for 1 second, I know Julie wants to say something here, but we did a 10th anniversary article on yeah, Megan and Julie being together on the staff there, and this is what Megan just said, Coach Rutler just said, is exactly the way these two coaches interact with each other. And you can hear my phone in the background here, by the way. They work as a team, and everything, all success is credited to each other, and that's just been a wonderful thing altogether.
Yeah, I know that one, you know, God, 10 years ago when I came back to the program, because I was actually with the program with Coach Roberts for a little bit of time before going off and doing my, you know, head coach in some high schools and stuff like that. And at that point in my life, I had, you know, 2 little girls at home, but I just loved the sport. I loved the school. I had such a great experience at the school with Coach Roberts and Mr. Case. I don't think Mr. Rowan was there when I was very first with the college. And, you know, I was really fine to acquiesce the responsibilities of a head coach, you know, and Megan had so much energy. It was just such an easy, you know, fit for both of us. You know, she was so enthusiastic about the school. I love the school. It's always been such a great, you know, outlet for me with my professional life and my personal life. I've always felt at home there. And I think between she and I, we were both at such, you know, different points in our own personal lives that it was such a great fit. And I think the girls fed off that fit. What we emulated between our relationship with each other, the girls bought right into, and that was, you know, fantastic. You know, right from the start, we had that first, you know, 2-3 years of the girls. I don't think, you know, it's hard to recreate those experiences. Some of the teams that we've had, they bought right in. They've known my girls since, you know, my 11-year-old was one, waddling around on the field in diapers. So, you know, it's just, I think, been such a great experience to work with Megan. So excited to have Maria on board to share this experience with us. I know I'm hoping at least that she's enjoyed the little bit of time we've all had together. We're all 3 working moms, so we have that shared experience, which is awesome.
Great. And that is a big story of the decade as your pairing and all the success you brought to us. Maria, what's it been like to jump into this coaching staff this year? And this is right before we move on to our first team.
Yeah, so I think just even coming to this program, knowing just how great it's been. I'm from the area. I'm from Washington Township. I didn't go to Washington Township. I'm a Catholic school product. But just being from this area and knowing how great of a program it is, switching from the community college that I was at to coming here, it was just an easy no-brainer. So when Megan and Julie reached out to come in, it was kind of easy. I coach club in the area, so it's been awesome. The girls are awesome. I feel more comfortable with them knowing that I know where they're from instead of being in another state. So no, it's been awesome. I've been able to learn a lot from Megan and Julie as well. So it's very exciting.
Well, we're all looking forward to another great decade. You're all signed to another 10-year deal through 2030, in case you didn't know that. We're going to move right on to the first team all decade. This is a big announcement. I think people will be really happy with these selections and happy to see these names as well. Let's take a look all the way. We started in the goal last time. Coach, you've got Jenny DeVault, first team all-decade goalkeeper.
I keep smiling at these names just because of, you know, who they are as people. They crack me up, and that's Jenny for sure, quite a character. Man, that kid could make saves. She was phenomenal. She's super athletic. She was also one of those bulls. I mean, she would lay herself out to come up with a save. And she definitely got better with her feet as she kind of progressed through. She did end up taking, I say a year off not from academics, but from soccer, and she ended up transferring to Stockton as well. So Coach Nick Younger got 2 of our best goalkeepers in, you know, the last decade, and she, I believe, is a returning starter for them this fall. Hopefully she's doing what she needs to do right now in the off season to be there for him, you know, again in the fall. But, you know, as a Roadrunner, she was phenomenal to really lead our back line.
Hey, great choice. I've been enjoying watching some of the stuff we've seen from Stockton about her as well. Let's look at that back line. Christina Unger, Shanna Bryson, Casey Lubanski, Madison Dorney. Those are some names that absolutely are some of our best players and maybe a couple of the best, most talented players we've ever had. Julie, you want to mention anything about that group?
I mean, my God, all 4 of them. You can go on for hours about each and every one of them. mean, Madison, I think, from the beginning, she was like, I don't want to play. She felt awkward. She didn't want to come out. And then all of a sudden she came out, and Megan and I are like, oh my God, where's she been this whole time, right? So she comes in, we converted to a back. She wanted to be a midi, and we kicking and screaming, we sent her to the back line, and she bought right in, and God, she produced so much. Shanna, the same thing. She and Casey both only played for us for a year. And the fact that they are first team, all decade speaks volumes of both of those girls. But those two center backs, I mean, I think that they are the top of the NJAC, to be quite honest, with that depth between the two of them. They're just awesome people. I mean, she was our first outside back. She was simple. She kept the game simple. She just went out there and she did her job. I mean, I don't think there's any other person who's ever come onto our field she's the only one who we didn't have to convert to be an outside back. She was natural, became extraordinarily natural to her. Quiet kid, and just did whatever we asked her to do. She was just phenomenal in that role.
Hey, Liz, chime in on this. The defense has been crucial to all the success of the team. I see this. There's always been a system back there. Ball starts on one side, moves to the other side, then up to the midfield, then maybe to the middle, then maybe back around through the goalkeeper. That's a big difference between some of the teams we play that just play long ball.
Oh yeah, that's the right way to play soccer. I mean, again, Coach Megan, Coach Julie, they come in and out of these years, and I think it's astonishing how they make a 2-year program and get to nationals all the time, and just implementing the system and changing it up too. I think that's it really kind of goes to their coaching, and that's the best when it starts from the back and it almost goes through everybody, and then we score at the end. That's the most fun. Yeah, head balls and all that, that's fun too, but it's when everybody gets a piece of the ball, even starting from the back, that's the most fun.
Hey, Brian,
Definitely. Yeah, Gus, go ahead.
Just wanted to make mention of one point here. I think it was Coach Julie that mentioned this earlier, how everybody is, especially with the backs, are interchangeable, and that's just a great system that the coaches have set up, and it's true. There's no doubt about it. Any one of these players at any time, I mean, they're, if in big games, they got it done, without question. But I remember Casey Lebonsky, I believe this was the first or second year I was there, and I happened to be giving her a call for a feature article we were working on for the website, and she had just found out, I'm not sure from who, that she was the Region 19 Player of the Year, and she sounded very, very surprised. And I said, "Why are you surprised?" And she said to me, "Anybody on our team could have been Region 19 Player of the Year." I'm glad I got it, but she was pretty much saying exactly what the coaches, the way they have set up that system, and everybody fits in and everybody can contribute at any time and come up big in any game.
Definitely, that's been one of the key things, and she was super talented, and then finished. I guess she's now done playing for Rowan University, I believe.
Yes.
Let's look at the midfield. Go ahead, Coach.
Yeah, Casey was with us 1 year, her freshman year. She was heavily recruited by several schools, and ended up at our college, which was great. Player of the Year, she was an All-American, and then ended up at Rowan and played there for 3 years, and I believe was a starter for her last 2. So contributed, at Rowan and in the NJAC. Shannon Bryson came to us from Stockton, so another NJAC product, super solid, and another one of those that would just literally run through a wall. To speak to C real quick, Christiana Unger, she was dynamite on set pieces. So not only was she great in the run of play, and she brought that ease and security that Coach Julie was talking about, the game came so naturally to her, but she was also a huge force for us in taking set pieces, both corners and just free kicks. And then Madison, I mean, the kid is super technical, and technically, I'll give it to her. She's a midfielder. She's going to be happy to hear that. But she had to play outside back for us. And once she bought in, she was stellar. So I'm happy to see her, finish her career at Stockton as well.
Hey, what a great group. Let's take a look at the midfield. Starting, and you got her sort of on this chart in the back. Liz Faulkner, who's on with us. We'll hear from her. Missy Trafton, Megan Lord, one of our favorites from Glassboro, and Vanessa Brown, another Glassboro success story right there. Liz, must feel great to be part of this all-decade group.
Oh, 100%. And even in the midfield too, I'm looking at the names like Missy, Vanessa, Megan, that's that's dynamite right there. That'd be awesome if Megan could have played with Vanessa and Missy as well. Like kind of just looking at it. But yeah, it's very nice, and thanks for considering me.
Coach, who else in that midfield? They were all driving forces to the success. But I think, Julie, what about Liz? What made her so special to the program?
I mean, Liz, we say all the time, for crying out loud, I don't think there's been a better athlete to walk through RCGC's campus, or GCC at the time, right? That's how long it's been. But just hands down, one of the most athletic kids I've ever coached in my, however many years of coaching it's been. What she brought to the team. I mean, when we've been to nationals and competed against Richland, Richland, our favorites. I mean, every time we meet with that coach, she's like, what about that girl? Played center mid for you guys. She was just unstoppable, right? I just couldn't stop her. So Liz, just her recognition through the region, not just locally, is just hands down. She's still talked about amongst these coaches whenever Megan and I get the chance to, sit down and talk with all them. So, undoubtedly, she's the most athletic kid we've ever coached.
Oh, so sweet. My heart.
Stop, Liz. Enough, Liz.
Last but certainly not least, the forwards, the strikers. We've got two superstar athletes, two real players that did great things, Ashley Engler and Leah Swetansky. Leah, most recently, who was the Region 19 Player of the Year. Maria, you had a chance to take a look at her, one of the players you coached, and she had that game-winning goal to send us to nationals.
Yeah, so I think even Leah being the one that I am very familiar with out of both of those teams. Leah, I think just her coming in late, it was a game changer too, having her train with us for a little bit and knowing what she could bring when she's able to play. And she just, her mindset playing is just, she wants to be tougher than her opponent. So even watching, putting her in different positions, we know too that, I mean, a lot of these players too, I'm sure they would run through a brick wall for somebody, and that was Leah. And I think even watching the clip of her scoring that game-winning goal against Union, she just plowed through those two players and was able to get the goal off. And I think she doesn't realize how good she is. So it's one of those things where we keep reminding her, like, no, you can do that, you can do this. So, I mean, she's, again, one of those players that definitely deserves all of the recognition that she's gotten this year.
Coach Rutler, we talked a little bit before going on the air about Ashley Engler, maybe as fun a player to watch, as talented maybe as we've had all the skills. She must have been just a great player to coach.
Yeah, Ashley, just natural talent. She came from Kutztown. She played in a Final Four with Kutztown the year prior to playing in a Final Four for us. Natural goal scorer, scored all sorts of ways. I mean, she would toe poke balls in. She would hit long range shots. She could finesse something in. She was just a goal scorer. And, even though we talked about, Deb Hoagland, and we talked about Tori as some goal scorers, they had to work super hard at it to get there. And I feel like with Ashley, it was just a natural ability that she acquired through her years playing in youth soccer and such. So, that wasn't easy. It's easy. She kind of came with it. There wasn't much to coach other than trying to just improve on, maybe her other abilities, such as defending, which, it's tough sometimes for attackers to think that they have to lead our, defensive shape. But, she bought in and was huge. Not only, in the region, but once we got to nationals. We went to nationals that year with 14 players, and Ashley didn't leave the field and was just, super hard working kid and gave it her all. And, we were thankful that she ended up at RCSJ or RCGC at the time.
Hey, well, great job on the reveal. We're going to take a look at that team, both first and second, one more time. Before we move on to what we call the lightning round, we're going to ask you some questions, and there may be some people that aren't on this list, but just again, congratulations to all the student athletes on your success. We hope you keep in touch with us. We hope you're proud to be on either first or second team. Great job putting it together, Coach. Now, the lightning round rules. I ask a question and you have to answer as best you can, and everybody has to answer. Where we get to hear some of the other pieces of maybe what was going on. I start with maybe the toughest one. It's 4-4 in a penalty kick shootout. Who do you send up to take the next kick? best penalty kick shooter of the decade. Coach Rutler, we got to start with you.
I think I need a minute. I'm traumatized by PKs from 2017. So, that's a good question. I mean, I don't know.
This is a lightning round, Coach. It's a lightning round.
I don't know.
I have mine.
I have
Liz, you're up.
Shanna Bryson. Shanna Bryson.
That was mine. That was mine.
Great choice. She's definitely clutch. Liz, is that who you were going to go with?
Yeah, I think that was one of the years that I was with you guys coaching. And she would always nail. So that was mine as well. I forgot her last name.
Maria, who you got?
Well, the only one that I've really seen from this list is Leah, but obviously she's number one for life, so she can do all of it.
Julie, what do you think? You've seen them all.
Madison Dorney, hands down, man. That girl she could place a ball. Probably.
I was torn between Madison and Shanna.
Yep. Yep.
Good stuff. So good for them. Two of the best. All right, this question may not be somebody that was on our all-decade teams. You're getting ready to take the van ride. Who's the best navigator? Who do you put in the seat next to you? Coach Cheney, you're up first. Who do you want with you? They got to control the radio for you. They got to tell you if you made a wrong turn.
They just don't stop talking. I don't know if I get the talking van.
Who's
I don't
been
know
the
about
best?
Not Kayla.
I'm never the first lead. It's always Coach Rutler who's the first lead, because you never want to trust my van too much. She's got to take one.
Unless we travel into PA and then you're leading.
Yeah.
Well, who's it going to be? Who do you want in the van with you, Coach?
God, I don't know. Rothberg. I love that kid.
Great choice. How about Coach Rutler?
I'm going with Ali Lucatina.
Good. So you wanted to have some jokes if you're talking about Allie. That's good.
Correct.
Liz, what about you? You took some van rides.
Oh, well, I was just thinking, I was on Coach Julie's van, so we were all following Coach Meg. So I got nobody. I'm trying to think of who was smart. Maybe Laura.
Okay, good. Maria, we've been taking mostly buses, but who would you take from the group you had?
Blessed. I think from last year, probably Carly Malia. She's got her brain on, so definitely.
Good, and she'll be back. Played multiple sports for us. Great kid.
Yes.
All right, next question. Liz, you're up first on this one. Most skilled. Who had the most skills? Most soccer skills for the whole decade?
Like, you're technical and tactical. I'm going to give it to her. Missy, I think Missy is probably the most skilled that I've seen. I was never a skill person, so I would never throw my name out there, but I admired that about her.
All right, good choice. How about Coach Dundee?
Oh God. Technical. It's like Liz says, technical and tactical. That's a difficult choice, right? So if I was going to go tactical, I'd probably say Christina Unger. Honestly, that girl she was so smooth. Our most natural back. Most natural back. Technical, I mean, Dorney was technical. Missy's technical. I mean, you've got some really technical kids out there. So it's a hard call.
That's why you have to make the call. You're a coach.
I hate these calls.
Got to put a team on the field there. Come on.
I want them all. I mean, if I could have a team of 20, there they are, right? Plus a couple more.
All right, we'll let you off the hook. Maria, who you got?
Probably say
Madison Dorney for you?
Yeah.
Okay. Maria, who you got?
Mine again is going off of last year, obviously. So I think I'd probably go with Angelina Moab. Ange, I think skills-wise, she's probably got the best footwork. She played in the back, so she kind of used those skills in the back. But I think technically, she's pretty sound.
Good choice right there. Coach Rowler, what do you think? You've seen them all. You recruited them all.
Yeah, not all. Some of them landed on my doorstep, I gotta say. Angler, Lebonsky, Bryson, Dorney, Crafton.
I don't know. I'm going to save you, Coach. Got to give it to Nil. Nil is hands down our most technical player of all time.
Nil's gonna really love the fact that she made this video. I'll give it to Nil.
Great stuff. We miss her. What a great personality. Hey, I think this could be the last one. Coach Rattler, you're up first. Funniest player from the decade. Who cracked you up the most? Who'd you love to be around when you stopped for that post-game meal? Who just had you laughing the whole time?
Probably Ali Lucatina. That's why I put her next to me in that seat.
Good choice. We miss her. I hope she's doing well. How about you, Julie?
Straga. That kid cracks me up, man. That's going back to our original first days together. She was my co-pilot. She's just an awesome all around funny kid.
Maria, you're up.
I think the one that kept, I think, a lot of us laughing last season, Ave. She, from us calling her, what do you call her in the beginning? Av, or we didn't know what her name was. Ava. And she's like, it's Ave. So I think she was one of the ones that no matter what, she kept us laughing. Her and Leah, the little duo.
Good choice, and we'll have her back next year. Really like her. Liz, close us out.
I don't know why this name came to my mind, but Lindsay Devlin. I thought she was hysterical in her own. Like, I would just be looking over and she would just be doing something like just strange. And it would just, like, that's the little things that cracks you up. There was a lot of characters on those teams. What was it, 2012, 2013?
Yeah.
I need to count.
It definitely takes character to be successful and keep everybody rolling through a long season. Hey, Coach Rattler, one last one for you. This will be tough too. Best captain.
We've gone several years without captains, so MK. I give it to MK. Very first one, probably.
Mary Kate. Good choice. She really helped us turn the program in a positive direction, didn't she?
Yeah.
Hey, any last moments, coaches? Maybe anything to close us out. One of your best memories, Liz. Best memory from being part of the program in the decade. What's something that stood out to you?
Best memories. That's another tough one. I would just kind of bring it back to that, Nationals run from that 2012 group. That was just like a fun ride. It was snowing for some of the games, freezing, but we all kind of stuck together and tried our best to get those wins. But it was just a fun ride.
Great stuff. Thanks for being on with us, Liz. Maria, closing thoughts. One of the best things you've seen during your time.
So I think even I joke about it now. Last year when Leah scored that goal at Union, I looked at the girls and I was like, I think I just peed myself a little bit. It was one of those like so excited moments. So just knowing too that we worked so hard to get to that point and it finally happened. I think that was one of those lost control moments, didn't know what was going on.
Thanks for coming on with us, Maria. Great story to close it out. Julie, great decade with you as a coach. Anything that stands out to you? Final thoughts.
For me, I'll always carry that win over Richland in the semifinals of the national tournament. Megan and I are sitting there relatively new together, 3 years, I guess, together, maybe 4 at that point. There we are at the semifinals of the national tournament, and our girls just they did everything we asked them to do, and to see, I think it was either Missy to Liz or Liz to Missy for that final goal. And I think that Megan and I we just laughed on the sideline to see the Richland team just fall apart right in front of us. They're scurrying, trying to make things happen, just completely shocked that we had a plan, and the girls just did everything that we asked them to do. So that will forever be seared in my mind as one of the greatest memories out of but again, hard because they've just been an awesome experience working with Maria and Megan for obviously Megan for 10 and bringing Maria on board, but having such great kids with us for all this time.
Great job, and thanks for sharing those memories with us and coming on, Coach. Coach Rattler, close us out here. Final thoughts on a great decade in Roadrunner women's soccer.
I mean, I have to echo, the sentiments that Julie and Liz just laid out for 2012, but have to preface it with, the 2017 team. We finished 4th in the country that year. They were definitely the most talented team, I would say, and obviously our shortest roster. We had 14 that year. But the 2012 team, as I said, it's just a bunch of winners, competitors, maybe not as talented as that 2017 team, technically speaking, but they just wanted to win so badly and change, the program, that was such a fun tournament. That final, Liz said, don't mention the score, but it's ingrained in my head. We lost 4-1, and we actually had an own goal against us. But for a while, we were pounding on Mohawk Valley's door. We outshot them 20-9 for shots on goal. I'm not saying we were the best team in the country that year, but I have no doubt in my mind, and I will take it to the grave, that we were the best team in the tournament that year. So I actually cried on the bus ride home. I'm going to be honest. It was a heartbreaker because the girls worked so hard and really did perform very well in that final, despite, the goal differential. We were very good that year. They were excellent. And as for, the coaching in the past decade, it's been amazing. I did find a home, which I did say, in my interview, I was looking for a home. I'm glad to see that the players that have come through have really bought in. They're the ones that changed, the program, changed the culture. And we're able to get a lot of great players as a result. Julie, as I mentioned, has been amazing and huge positive influence on my life, as a whole, not just in the soccer world. And to have Marie on board, another very talented coach, we only have a really bright future ahead of us.
Great way to close us out. Thanks everybody for coming on. Congratulations to all the great players that have come through the program. We hope you enjoyed the show. Go Roadrunners.